Yo, guys, Winter House Gaming Podcast. What's going on?
Winter House Gaming.
Look at you and your classy martini.
I'm a classy bitch,
dude. I saw that and I'm just like, what is that? What I think it is?
Every time that I see Eric, especially during the PlayStation press conference yesterday, he was drinking a martini as well. So
it's like he's like a
dapper boy. I even got self-conscious because yesterday during the event when we were streaming in the Discord, I was drinking a martini, but I had like a plastic fork to eat the olives with, and Dave was making fun of me for that. So I invested in some proper little olive swords.
Thank you for that. There's only one problem. I do love the swords. I love them dearly. You can do a lot of things with them, but
yeah,
why do you not have an umbrella?
It's a fucking martini. It's not a tropical breeze.
Yeah, but
it can
be. It can be. That's literally what umbrellas do. It makes it a tropical experience.
I drink martinis specifically because they're low in calories and they get me where I need to be. So
that little tiny thing gets you where you need to be.
Well, I mean, after I have like 3 of them,
right? He's like,
and I mean, you need to understand that this is literally just vodka in a glass with some olives. Like
it really is. Yeah.
I never understood the olives. I what's the point of the olive being there?
They taste good.
Doesn't olives like smooth out alcohol, right?
Yeah. They do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. That's kind of the point of the martinis too, is the olives soak up the alcohol and then you eat the olives and the olives have the alcohol in them.
Right.
So.
Right.
Well, welcome to the Winter House podcast where we discuss fine spirits.
Exactly. Yes. So everybody's going to start getting crazy about the reason why tonight was podcast night anyway, but everyone knows what's going to happen. But before that happens, we're going to talk to Christiege for about 10-15 minutes. He is one of our special guests. He's also a fellow streamer. He is a huge part of the Winter House Gaming community on Discord and pretty much everywhere else. And he has become a really good friend. Him and I stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning talking about anything.
And he's a straight up bro. He's
very, very cool. Bro. So, Christiege11, real name Chris. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing fan-diddly-tastic. And first off, I appreciate you guys letting me come on the podcast because I've never been on one. So it's different.
That's very cool. So the funny thing about that is he goes, the conversation was real quick. He's like, something about being on the podcast. Yeah, maybe one of these days. And I said, cool, the 17th. And he's like, wait, really? I said, yeah, the 17th. I mean, there's, we got to start, lining people up for different podcasts, going forward. So you're going to be the first one.
Yeah, it was super fast because he told me you guys were like, going through the whole transition. I was like, hey, if you want, I could pop in a podcast just to say what's up and like help out to fill the spot. He was like, all right, how about this day? I was like, hold on, wait a minute. And I had to start checking my calendar.
Wait a minute, too much pressure. That's too soon.
One of these days, I'm going to be on a podcast. Yes, Thursday. Better make sure you're free, buddy.
Surprise. So
I hope you don't have plans.
So you are a streamer.
Right.
How long have you been streaming?
So technically, I've been streaming for quite a long time. Probably like 7-8 months. To me, that's a long time, because I'm 19, but, and I started on Twitch, but I felt like Twitch didn't really, give the support to small streamers. So that's when I hopped on Facebook. So on Facebook, consistently, I've been going for about 2 months now, probably.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you stream, actually, I popped into one of your streams, and you do the Battle Royale thing, don't you?
I like my battle royales, but it has to be a very specific type. I don't play Fortnite, guys. I don't do it. Don't expect to pop into my stream looking at Fortnite. It ain't gonna happen.
Right.
That's why Chris has lasted this long on our community.
That's why we get along so well. Very cool.
Right.
So that game, is that the one with the frying pan?
The one that I play?
Yeah.
No. The one with the frying pan, I believe, is PUBG. I have not.
That's PUBG.
I have not played that yet.
Okay.
What I was playing was Realm Royale, which I'm actually hopping off that game because the servers are shutting down within the next 2 years. Like, they stopped developing it. Hackers are everywhere. Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's washed
I'm
up
actually
already.
going.
Damn.
Yeah, so I'm going on to this new game that I found called Spellbreak, and it's another battle royale with just straight magic, and it looks fucking fantastic.
I saw that on
Yeah, I
the
actually did see
PlayStation
that.
store page yesterday, and I said, "Huh, that looks interesting." And then I scrolled past it.
And then he was done.
That's
we generally
typically what I do when I see battle royales too.
Yeah.
we generally just don't do them, but that doesn't mean they're not, got their own place in the gaming world.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
do, absolutely.
Yeah. So
yeah,
you and I started playing this other game recently. It's called Craftopia.
Oh yes.
We don't have to go into too much details, but I know that you and I, and Shane have been mildly obsessed with this game.
Mildly is an understatement.
Yeah.
That's putting it lightly.
Yeah. So what is real quick, just to kind of explain it, what is your experience with the game?
Zelda.
Yeah. Crafting Zelda.
Yeah, I love it. It's fucking amazing, dude.
You just build
Dungeons,
houses.
surviving, having to make different. It's got a little mixture with Monster Hunter World in it. It's a great game.
It's
Like,
intense.
It's amazing.
It's in like this weird pre-alpha stage.
Oh yeah.
And so everything's kind of broken at the same time, but a lot of it's hilarious. I've built so much stuff in one of my worlds. I get 10 frames per second.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I could.
And it's
You know, to get
it's difficult.
to pique my interest, all you gotta do is mention Monster Hunter. Like,
Right.
just,
Monster
be like,
Hunter!
Hey, have you checked out this new restaurant? No, man, I'm not interested. Yeah, it's kind of like Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
What? Okay, I'll go.
Yeah. I just want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Chris, what's going on? How you doing, man? Dropped in from work to say hello and hope everyone has a good night. From James, thank you very much for the 10 stars. We appreciate that. Aaron says, "Madness, this is pre-orders." It's definitely something. Welcome, Christiege from Chris
Don't
Wiley.
worry, we're getting to that. We're
Thank you, Chris.
definitely
Appreciate
getting to that.
Yeah, it'll get there. It'll get there.
Christopher West says, what the hell happened to PS5 pre-orders? They hit with no warning and sold out before I got one. We are going to get into that in just a few minutes.
We'll have to cover some other bases before we start ranting.
Yes, we are going to start.
Oh, because that will last too long.
We had a little bit of a flow that we wanted. It might not work that way because you guys know us. Allie, how you doing?
It rarely does.
What's going on?
It rarely does.
Okay, so Christiege11.
There have been times where we've plotted out entire podcasts before, like, okay, we're gonna talk about this, then this, then this, then this, and we literally would
burned.
like hit the first topic, then start talking about dicks, and then like just that's the end of it. Then it's over.
That's basically what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, okay, Christiege11. He is a Facebook streamer. He plays a lot of.
Hey, you should
battle
put his link in
royales.
the description, Dave.
Yes, I should have. I put your name on the screen, but
You bastard, Dave.
I can't update that now. We will, when this is over, we will put the link in the description at that point.
No hard feelings. It's okay.
I can't think of it, man. All right. So for real, what is your thought about hitting you've been hitting quite a few goals like consistently in the past month.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, man?
Honestly, okay, so when I started the channel, it was a joke. My brother kind of talked me into it. He was like, dude, stop talking to yourself while you play the game. He's like, just go stream. So that's how I started.
That's
It
so
was a
funny.
joke. So I hit Facebook, and on my first day, I think I hit 75 followers on the first day. I just put the page up. Obviously, that's friends from
Fuck
high
yeah,
school,
dude.
things like that. And I thought I would stay there. I thought I would just get on, play games for fun. And then, like, this past month, I've already gained over 140 more followers. Obviously, I lost a few along the way, but it happens, you know.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
every day.
it's part of it.
It happens.
But that's nuts. Like, I expected to, hit 200 next year, and I've hit 200 in the last week, like that, and it's consistently growing every day. So it feels amazing, honestly.
From streamers, he's almost 4 years, actually a little over 4 years. Here's a little bit piece of advice: higher your standards, there, buddy. 200 in a year or so? No.
I mean, whatever point you're at, like the next milestone always seems so far away.
It does
until you hit it, and then
I wax my armpit.
whatever previous milestones seem so
Wait,
small.
really?
Yeah, so when I hit 200 followers, I waxed my armpits because for me, I
did,
thought
I
it was going
watched
to take
it.
ages. I thought it was going to take.
God.
I set the goal at like I think at 100 followers, I mentioned it in a stream that I would do it, and I actually ended up making the goal. And in like 4 days, hit 200. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I waxed my armpits live on stream.
What are you gonna wax when you hit 300?
My legs, actually.
Yeah.
Doing a strip off
You
the
know,
old.
You're supposed to be going forward in age. You're not supposed to be going backwards in age.
Hey, you don't have much more hair to lose, Chris.
That's right.
The better I
Exactly.
can get, the better I feel, right?
Exactly.
Don't listen to Dave. If you keep going forward in age, you end up looking like us. You don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want this.
You guys,
Keep your
listen.
youth.
You guys are gorgeous.
Look at this. Look at it. Look, you don't want this, man. You don't want this.
If I grow out the sides of my head, it's all gray now.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah,
it
it's
would be.
like it, and I'm just almost 30, so don't do it.
Just
So what?
almost
You're
30.
30 years young. 30 years young is what I heard. Because you
Yeah.
guys look fantastic.
Oh, man.
you boys are beautiful. He says. Thank you so much.
I like Chris. He's on point with the flattery. I like
The flattery.
I like it.
He's a good
Cheers
dude.
I
to
made it
that,
through high
buddy.
school.
Yeah. How do you think he got all those A's?
Right?
Right?
Oh man. So yeah.
Oh,
So
gee, teacher, you're awfully pretty today.
exactly. I think
about my
everybody's
test scores.
I think everybody's getting a little antsy. So, guys, after the podcast, go check out Christiege11 right on his page. Just take that. It says Christiege11. Put it right into Facebook. You will find him. You'll see his face in like a onesie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
was about
me.
to mention that he has an interesting choice of outfits on his
I
page,
saw it and
so
I was
you'll
confused.
know who
I'm
he
like-
is immediately.
Okay, I have something to tell you, and I apologize about this. This is like how offensive it was for you to think that I like country music.
Okay.
He did. He's like, "Oh, I figured you for a country music guy," and I'm like, "I will push you downstairs." I won't. I'm just kidding. When I saw that picture, I thought you were a furry. I'm so sorry.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with being a furry, but I immediately went there.
Any furries that are watching right now,
And so
it's cool.
Chris is,
Do you?
Eric's like,
Well,
I got
can
you.
tell you guys.
Yes, do you?
I am married.
Respect.
Not that.
He's married. There you go. Married at 19.
At 19.
Nice.
Yeah, 19.
Married doesn't mean you can't be a furry.
I don't know.
Alright,
If,
just
here's an interesting. Here's an
Just saying.
interesting piece of. Here's an interesting piece of information about Chris that I really, really like. He's got like the next 5 years mapped out in his head, and I
Yeah.
like that. I love that. I think that's really cool.
Dude,
Planning
the only
ahead.
thing, the only thing that I'm looking that far into is Winter House Gaming. Like the rest of my life around me just crumbles.
Everything
and-
begins to sag.
Dude, I have to plan everything or I'll freak out in my own head. Like I'll lose my mind not knowing what I'm supposed to do next. Like
There's
I'll miss a stream if I lose my schedule in my head. I'll miss a stream because I freak out.
yeah.
It happens.
I for reference, I just started planning my trip to Maine like today, and it's in less than 2 weeks. So that's how far ahead I usually
I'll
am.
tell you what. I'll tell you what. You guys have no clue what it's like to live with someone. To live with someone that is as
like how he checked.
careful and calculated and just intensely planning the future than Carrie is. So much
And
so.
luckily, she doesn't watch the podcast.
So much so that I'm convinced we're never going to own a home because of it. We're stuck in an apartment forever. Okay, guys, after the podcast, go check out Christiege11 on Facebook. We will put the link in the description. We have some very, very mixed emotions to go through in the next 45 minutes, and we need to
Yes.
start kind of slow in this. So, Eric,
Well, yeah,
we're gonna-
let's get through the smaller
we're gonna
ones
we're gonna
first and
push
just work our
Eric
way
into
up.
this. He's got a few things he's got to say.
Yeah. First of all, but. Okay,
Yeah.
back to you, Dave. No, I'm just
Second
one
of
thing-
all, butt sex.
yes.
Back to you,
Went
Dave.
right
We're at the
into it.
wrong
Good.
airport.
Third of all, men's asses.
There you go. You got it
Now
out of your
that that's out of
system.
the way,
Yeah.
I've cleared the air.
He feels
We're
so
good to
much
go.
better now.
Combine profit.
Yeah. All right,
Wait,
Eric.
what?
Let's
But
do
no,
this.
okay. Anyway, I noticed today talking to coworkers and stuff that were, even avid gamers. People are a little confused right now about the different options and stuff coming out. So I just wanted to kind of like give a baseline,
Clear
like
the
this is what's
air.
clear the air. Give a baseline. This is what's going on. So first, Microsoft unveiled the prices of the next gen Xbox systems. The Xbox Series X is $499 US. The Xbox Series S is $299.
I thought that was
the-
$399.
$299.
It was
the-
$299.
But the difference the difference between the two consoles, the digital PlayStation is $399, but there's a big difference between them.
That's right.
You see, both of them are digital only consoles. The PlayStation Digital Edition is the same hardware as the physical edition. It has the same specs, the same everything. It just doesn't have a disc drive. That's the only difference. It's digital only. The Xbox Series X versus the S is a much bigger difference computationally. The Series S has the same processor, the same CPU as the X, so it can handle next-gen games. You know, it can handle the AI and stuff that next-gen games are going to be producing. But it has a lower-end GPU, which means that it's just going to be running stuff at lower resolution or lower frame rates.
The highest of anything that it can handle is HDR.
Right. So whereas, you know, all the other systems are going to be 4K, you know, shooting for 120 frames a second and 4K, all that good stuff. The Series S is more for people who have no interest in 4K. Like if you don't own a 4K TV, if you don't plan on getting a 4K TV, it will handle next-gen gaming at 1080p or even 1440p in some cases.
To give you to add to that real fast, and then you can keep going. To give you a number system to go by, the Xbox Series X, 12 teraflops, 1.825 gigahertz processor. The S is 4 teraflops, so you're going from 12 to 4, and it's 1.55 gigahertz. So the difference is actually kind of huge.
The difference is huge, but I think the term teraflops, I feel like most people don't really know what teraflops is. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't even know exactly, but I do know that it's not related to the like computational power of the CPU. It's only related to the GPU. It's only related to the graphics processing itself. Yep. So that's why, like, when you look at people look at the teraflops, and the Xbox One X, not the Series X, the One X, the one that's already out, technically has more teraflops than the Series S. So people are confused, thinking like, how is the Series S considered an next-gen console?
4K.
Right.
It's because it can handle 4K.
So whereas right now you can play like 360 games 4K enhanced on the Xbox One X, you won't get that kind of benefit playing them on the Series S. But you will on the Series X.
Right.
So that's
it's very
it gets kind of convoluted.
I feel like I said all of the names right, but it is possible that I mixed up a couple times.
You did, Eric. Don't worry, you did. It's easy to fuck that up. And you got it right.
And that's why I wanted to put that out there, though, is because, like I said, it is confusing a lot of people. And I just wanted to like kind of, you know, give that baseline knowledge first, so you guys know exactly this is the systems we're looking at,
and that's why the prices are there.
Yes, that's why the Series S is lower than the digital PlayStation 5, because the digital PlayStation 5 is the full scale PS5 experience.
I'm extremely thrown off by the USB support on Xbox, but I'm confused by it because the information was kind of skewed, but we can go into that a little bit later. All the prices are extremely competitive anyway. They've always been really close. I really don't think at the end of the day, between $50 difference, people are really going to care that much. They're really not.
No.
But everything is going to look fantastic. Keep in mind, if you want 120 frames per second, you have to have a monitor that works 120 frames per second. I had the conversation.
That's me.
Yeah, I had the conversation this morning with someone. They're like, "Oh, I can't wait." I'm like, "I'm pretty sure you just have a 4K TV that's only 60." So
if you have a 60 hertz TV, it's not going to be taking advantage of that 120 FPS.
Yeah.
What was the release date on the PS5 again?
November 12th.
Fun fact: that's my birthday.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, shit, buddy.
That's awesome. I honestly think no matter what you guys choose, no matter what anyone chooses for Xbox and PlayStation, the new gen, I think everything's going to look fantastic, and it's going to play fantastic. A lot of people will not play to the max, ability of these devices anyway. A lot of people won't. They're going to be playing on just regular TVs. You're only going to see as much quality as you're hardware really is able to do, especially your TV.
My PC monitor, my main that I run most games on, it handles HDR but doesn't do 4K, but it will do 120 frames.
Right.
So it's kind of like that trade-off.
I don't even remember what my ultra does. But...
And also, it's worth considering future-proofing too. Like if you think that within the next couple of years you probably want to invest in a 4K TV,
I eventually will.
Yeah, at that point, like, you know, you would really have to consider Series S or Series X. Like, yeah, you can save a couple $100s by getting the Series S.
Right.
And that might be the best option for you right now. But if you're planning on getting a 4K TV somewhere down the line, you might want to hold off a little bit and just spring all the way for the Series X. So that way you'll be ready for that 4K experience when you do upgrade to that TV.
And it's, you know, I don't even like, I mean, hey, Dave, you're a streamer. You do this and that. You've got all this stuff. I don't have a 4K TV sitting in front of me. I don't game. I game in 1080, probably 60. And it, you know, that's just what it is. But prices are going to be dropping super fast. So everyone that doesn't have one, well, there's one in the living room, don't get me wrong. But I'm not carrying that.
And keep in mind, guys, like, if you're not able to get a PS5 and you want to get some of the new upcoming games, like Horizon Forbidden West or Spider-Man Miles Morales, those will be available on PS4 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right, which is very cool. The Xbox Series X and S do release on November 10th, 2 days ahead of Sony.
I thought it was November 12th. Yes. Oh wait, no, the Xbox.
Xbox
you're
is
talking
10th.
about Xbox.
Xbox is 10th. Sony is 12th. I don't think in the console wars that's going to matter to anybody. I really don't.
No, not at all.
It doesn't matter to me because I'm not pre-ordering the Xbox.
right. So, let's go over to the actual Sony event. Is that where you want to go, Eric? The game itself?
Do we want to cover that, or do we want to cover Nintendo first? I feel like a build-up is necessary here.
Okay, yeah, Nintendo's going to be quick. Nintendo's going to be...
Yeah, because I have some stuff to chime in on that, too, with you, but that...
I do agree. Once we, like, start hitting the, like, PS5 pre-order fiasco, we're going to go so off the rails that anything else that was, like, on the agenda for today is just going to be fucking...
So we might as well just cover what we're going to cover now, and then
Kelly,
once we get to that,
do it up.
Yeah.
Or Eric.
Oh man, I was really looking forward to being able to have Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Sunshine, and 64, but they kind of ruined my chances of that because now it's a limited release.
Okay, so you just won't be able to get it until later. Is that what you're saying? Or you might not at all?
I'm gonna only be able to get it digitally.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted the physical copy, and they all sold out. And since they're only doing a limited release, I can't buy the physical copies unless I somehow get my hands on one.
That is a weird... Why do you think... Explain the limited release thing, because that blows my mind.
I don't fucking know, but Nintendo always does shit like this. It's weird.
I mean, Nintendo has in the past been accused of what's it called? Manufactured scarcity. You know, where they like purposefully don't create enough stock to like facilitate the demand for things, and it creates more demand in the process. They're kind of being accused of that with this, but this is such a strange situation. So Super Mario 3D All-Stars is Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy all up-resed into HD for the Nintendo Switch in one collection. It's a limited release game, which, as far as the physical copy goes, that's fine. You know, if they want to release just like a physical one-time, one-shot only,
that makes sense. That makes sense. But the digital...
Even the digital is limited release. So it's only going to be, it releases tomorrow actually. And it's only going to be available on the eShop until March, I want to say. I don't remember the exact date.
You basically have until the...
it's only on the market for like 6 months.
That's a long limited release though. So I think that's
enough time.
It is, but
we're in the middle of a pandemic right now. A lot of people can barely afford food right now, let alone dropping $60 on a collection of old Nintendo games.
Yeah, I'm lucky I have a job and I can do that.
Yeah,
but at the same time, there are people that don't have that luxury.
Yeah, like we're fortunate enough.
They're kind of like falling to gaming to get by.
Yeah, each of us have been fortunate enough to maintain our jobs and still have a steady income and stuff. But unemployment is at an all-time high right now. A lot of people are just barely scraping by. And for Nintendo to just be like, oh yeah, you can only buy this for a few months, and then if you want it after that, too fucking bad, guy. Get fucked, poser. Like, it's just kind of it just. I mean, first of all, it seems weird to limit a digital release anyway. Like, what harm would it be to keep it on the eShop?
I mean,
but it just seems really tasteless.
I'm right there with you, Eric, because to me,
current climate,
I was like, okay, the physical is going to be limited. That makes sense. There are plenty of games that take that route.
Right.
Yeah. But when they were like, oh yeah, we'll be doing this with the digital edition too, I'm just like, are you fucking serious?
Chris, what do you think about all that? I mean, did you ever get into Nintendo? I know you're a little younger, but
okay,
it's still a thing.
All right, listen, I grew up poor. Of course, I played Nintendo. Man.
All right,
it's because every other little turd of my generation played PS4 growing up. Doesn't mean I did. All right.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think about that, man? That's crazy, huh?
Dude, I'm a huge Nintendo fan. Huge Nintendo fan. So, yeah, it bothers me.
Yeah.
One of the main things is that I wanted to get it from my brother because he's a bigger Mario nerd than I am.
Ooh,
and,
okay.
Kind of fucks with it a little bit. Because that was my plan for his birthday.
The only way you can get it for him now is like getting him a Nintendo shop gift card.
Yeah,
or digitally, which is
it's an option to get digital. I know a lot of people like physical. I like physical.
I do too. I would have loved to have that physical. I would have preferred to have it physical.
I was fortunate enough because of being a longtime Nintendo fan. I know how they are about especially limited release things. The second I heard that the game was available for pre-order, like I pre-ordered it within probably a minute of the pre-orders going live. So I have a physical copy coming in.
I didn't think they were going to do that.
Right.
And I was waiting until my next paycheck to get that physical pre-order, and then they fucking pulled the rug out from under
I
us.
didn't even know that it was going to be limited yet. Just knowing how Nintendo is with the stock of certain things, and I mean, like I believe the Wii version of PlayStation All-Stars. What the fuck? Of Super Mario All-Stars. The Wii version was like a limited release. So it was, I kind of figured it would be a high demand item, and I just knowing Nintendo, I'm like, it's not going to last on shelves for long. And then I heard that the physical release was going to be limited. I'm like, I'm pre-ordering that shit right now. I'm securing my copy. And then I heard the digital was going to be limited too, and by that time it was already sold out everywhere physical.
Hey, you know what? I'll just look out for a used copy at GameStop.
It'll happen. Chris,
it'll happen.
Chris, are you still gonna? Is he in here? Are you still gonna do the just a gift card for him, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna do something.
Still an option.
It's probably gonna be that. It's just a matter of doing it.
And give him like the gift card and like a sorry bro thing. Like sorry you can't physically touch
I'm gonna
it.
do something. Like, dude, he's such a nerd. He has the old Nintendo 64. He's missing one Mario game. That's it, just one. And then he has the full collection on Nintendo.
That's awesome.
Like,
that's very cool. That's really good to have.
I got to do something.
Absolutely, man. I think you should.
Yeah.
He'd love it.
He'll definitely appreciate that then.
So let's. Is there anything else with Nintendo, real quick? Because
I thought there was one other
today
thing.
Actually, they had a Nintendo Direct Mini. They got completely just like swamped under the news avalanche of Sony stuff going on.
Yep.
But it was actually it was one of those
you told me and I didn't even know.
Yeah, it was one of those partner directs where it didn't have like Nintendo first party games, it had third party games, but it was the best one that they've shown so far. First of all, for someone like me, they had not one but two Monster Hunter announcements. Which, I mean, you guys know me in Monster Hunters.
Yeah,
he hates it.
It's a good game.
One of them being Monster Hunter Rise, I think it was called, which looks both of these games are Nintendo Switch exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
Rise looks almost like a return to form, like from World. It looks closer to the old school style of combat.
Right.
But the gameplay itself, the game looks more open than most of the other Monster Hunter games. I mean, they didn't show much, but from what I've seen, like just the traversal and stuff, it had like a grappling hook where you could really kind of, it almost looked like it might be open world. I don't know if it's open world or
That's
not. But
crazy. That's very different from Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Like the combat looked very familiar, very much like if you've played Monster Hunter Generations on Switch or whatever, like the combat right there is exactly what you're expecting. But the traversal and stuff, it looked like it was a little bit more story focused, and it looked like it was more open. And the other Monster Hunter announcement they had, which I'm probably the only fucking person on the planet that's excited for this, is Monster Hunter Stories 2.
I'm excited for you, dude. For real.
Yeah.
For real.
The first Monster Hunter Stories was a 3DS game that went completely under the radar. Like barely anybody has ever seen it. But it was almost Monster Hunter meets Pokemon. It was a turn-based RPG that was kind of story focused, and like you captured the monsters and you used the monsters to fight each other, kind of like Pokemon, except you're like fighting a Rathalos with a Yonkaku and shit. It was crazy.
Yeah, let's enslave animals. That's cool.
Yeah, but the first one admittedly felt a little half baked. Like I liked the idea of taking the Monster Hunter universe and kind of applying it to a Pokemon-esque gameplay.
Right.
But the first game just felt a little like the ideas weren't all the way there.
Yeah.
From the trailer for 2, like it looks a lot more polished. Like the story looks pretty decent. The graphics are beautiful. It looks pretty solid.
The first one, I'm
about it.
That was a game I played for a whole 5 seconds, right? On mobile.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, the first one, it was released on the 3DS first, and I believe it was released on Android and iOS later on.
Very solid mobile experience, but for some reason I have a hard time bridging the gap on mobile phones gaming.
Same here.
I hate mobile. I hate mobile phone gaming.
Yep.
Stupid.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
Stupid.
I don't care.
I just fucking yeet that out of here, man. All right.
Yeet.
There's something that's been I want to tell everybody about. If you did not watch the Sony event, we're gonna go scare right over to the Sony event. The first thing I want to say is I would standing ovation to Sony for this, because this is the second most amazing thing that happened yesterday. Okay, it's called the PlayStation Plus Collection. This is absolutely crazy, and this isn't no PlayStation Now. Okay, you already pay for PlayStation Plus. I assume everybody does. If you don't, go do it. It's awesome. This means that you're going to be able to play a massive collection of exclusive titles from PlayStation 4 for free. I mean, virtually free, as long as you have PlayStation Plus. This is huge news, massive news, because I don't have to worry about going on PlayStation Now to play certain things. These aren't even on there, I don't think.
Yeah, no. I mean, PlayStation.
Every single one of these games they announce on that.
Let me give you the real quick list. Okay, God of War, The Last of Us, Uncharted 4, Battlefield 1, Monster Hunter World, Fallout 4, Final Fantasy 15, The Last Guardian, Ratchet and Clank, Infamous Second Son, Days Gone, Bloodborne, Detroit Becoming Human, Batman Arkham Knight, Mortal Kombat X 10. I don't know.
10.
10. Persona 5, Until Dawn, and Resident Evil Biohazard. Those are all amazing games. They all
every single one.
You named at least 6. I'm dying to play.
These are all going to be available for PlayStation Plus members. If you're one right now, guess what? Boom, done. That is amazing.
If you have a PlayStation 5.
If you
the Plus price doesn't go up at all.
Well,
they haven't
not
announced.
yet.
They haven't announced that.
The good thing is, I know Eric and I do something very specific that we encourage everyone to do right now. Every time there's a sale, $40 or $45 for PlayStation Plus, him and I buy it. What are you up to?
Yeah. I'm PlayStation Plus, I'm booked up to 2023. PlayStation Now, I'm booked up to 2024.
Yeah, right. So I'm booked up, I think, out to 2024 or 2025 now. And when other things happen later this year, it's going to be
at least
more.
2023. So
yeah. So
I don't own a console.
Yeah, because it's
you're gonna soon, because PlayStation 5 is awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting it.
It's gonna be awesome.
Which one thing I actually mentioned the other day. Quick PSA to anybody who won't be able to get a PS5 like at launch. When the PS4 came out, I already had PlayStation Plus. I was already subscribed to Plus back on the PS3. When the PS4 came out, I couldn't afford it for the first few months. Like I had to wait like 4 or 5 months after it came out before I actually picked it up. I used the PlayStation app to redeem all of the PS4 freebies on PlayStation Plus. So by the time I did get my PS4, I already had like 6 or 7 games. I had like Contrast and Resogun and all these other games that were offered for free only for the first few months.
And people don't realize they can do that. You can do that.
Yeah, go onto the desktop site, go onto the app or whatever, and you can redeem these PlayStation Plus freebies even if you don't own that console yet.
And even if you're not going to play these things, they're free. Hit the button. Put it in your library.
Exactly.
You know,
if you have PlayStation Plus, at least just put them in your library.
The only time
use it for bragging rights later.
Yeah, the only time I made it a specific point not to redeem a free game was when Metal Gear Survive was free for PlayStation Plus, and I'm just so against everything that Metal Gear Survive stands for that I'm like, I don't even want it for free. I don't want it tainting my library.
Right.
Keep it away from me.
You don't want that game anywhere near you.
Yeah.
No.
So let's go.
You could give me $10 to take it, and I'd just say no thanks.
Right. Let's go on to the one of the games that they showed, which everyone freaked out about. We were all in the Discord and social chat watching this, and everyone freaked out.
Wait. You couldn't be talking about
which one?
Final Fantasy 16.
Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah. Whisper so the audience doesn't hear you.
Final Fantasy 16. Jesus. Dude, for real. Final Fantasy 16. I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm not getting paid to say that. I'm just excited.
No, I'm equally as excited after watching that trailer.
Darkness, man. That game looked dark. And it looked amazing.
It looked unlike any other Final Fantasy experience I've ever seen.
So that means I'm the only one in here that hasn't played the game, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've played
definitely.
I've played almost every single one of them. Haven't beaten every single one of them, but I physically played almost every single one of them. But holy shit. It does. It looks like a polished version. Eric just said this. Final Fantasy 16 looks a lot like Final Fantasy 14 Online. That's funny because they were going in on that success of Final Fantasy 14, but it also looks way more polished anyway. So
it's true.
It's going to be amazing because Final Fantasy 14.
No, I don't like Final Fantasy.
yeah. It's like I got this right. Mine are too far away to grab.
What's Final Fantasy? Mine are way too far away.
It's never the Final Fantasy. It's the joke. But for real, it looked phenomenal, and I know we were all just, day one.
I will say, to play devil's advocate, which is crazy coming from me because I'm definitely the biggest Final Fantasy fanboy out amongst us.
Yes, I would say that.
Yeah, I would say that for sure.
Yeah, I think we can all agree to that. As the biggest Final Fantasy fanboy, I will say the game looks amazing. It looks a lot darker than any other Final Fantasies. The only thing I kind of take issue with is like the art direction of it, like the characters and stuff. Nothing about like the characters really like popped for me.
Well, they all did seem a little less desirable.
Yeah, a little like is toned down, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But when you think Final Fantasy, you think way over the top characters that like are immediately recognizable. Like I looked at like the main character,
very rigid and like you know when you see Cloud, you know what he's about.
You see his fucking silhouette, and it's like that's Cloud. Yeah. Like like it's
I actually totally get that.
Immediately identifiable.
Yep.
Whereas like I looked at the characters in the Final Fantasy 16 trailer, it's kind of like. Maybe once I get my hands on the game, I'll like come around to them. But so far,
I felt the same way about Final Fantasy 15 characters.
Yeah,
they seem just a
and
little
I ended
bit
up warming
less
up to them too.
Desirable. I mean, Squall.
Yeah. I did too, though.
Right.
I did too with Final Fantasy 15. I ended up warming up to them too.
Especially Prompto. Prompto's my boy. Fucking
right.
Prompto.
So going on to the next one.
Prompto's actually my least favorite.
Dude, how about that fucking
what? How can Prompto be your least favorite? He was my least favorite at first, like at the very beginning. But That's Ignis. Damn it, Kelly.
Did you?
That's it. I've come up with a new recipe.
Did you play it, Kelly?
I have.
Okay.
Prompto's the one that kind of looks like Cloud at first. But
Yeah.
Oh yes. You're right.
Like I felt like he was the most like grounded character out of them. Like at the beginning, he seemed like annoying, but then when they like fleshed out his character more, like his motivations and stuff, he felt like the most relatable one of the group.
Prompto actually reminded me of Ryuji a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. He had the same kind of dynamic.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking back, it's been a long time.
Prompto still owes me money for a bad oil change. Anyway, okay. Moving on. Spider-Man. Holy shit.
I mean,
was that fucking cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked awesome.
It looks like more Spider-Man. Which is exactly what I wanted.
It's exactly what we wanted. And the if the photo mode isn't as polished as the last one, I'm gonna be so mad. I took almost 5,000 pictures of the last one.
There will be
Holy
rioting
crap.
in the streets.
I will be the only one out there, and then I will. No, I'm not gonna riot, guys. I'm not gonna riot. But seriously, for real, that was awesome. Chris, you said you're digging the Spider-Man thing.
Yes, dude. Oh my god, I only got to play the because I sold my PS4, so I got to play the other one. You know, the one on PS4, which is freaking fantastic for 30 minutes.
Where's that band button?
For 30 minutes.
There it is. I found the band button.
Come on.
No,
I wouldn't be a streamer if I didn't sell the PS4. Okay, so there you go.
Okay.
But yes, no, amazing. So really excited for the new one coming out. It's gonna be great.
It looked amazing. The action looked. I love those cinematic action scenes for Spider-Man specifically because they're so incredibly over the top, and his acrobatics are just on par. He's
so
fluid. Everything turning around and doing all those moves. It was amazing, dude. It really is awesome. And okay. Harry Potter game. Good. Am I?
Yeah.
Am I right? Do I feel dirty for saying I'm?
Listen, all right. I'm probably
a little bit of dirtiness.
I don't like Harry Potter, but that game,
it looked good.
My God,
it looked like they were doing the right thing for a fantastic series, and I think I want it.
I'm coming from the same place as Chris here. Like I'm not a standing Harry Potter fan. Like I appreciate the franchise, but it just never really roped me in. But I was watching the trailer for that. I'm like, this is pretty badass.
Yeah,
like,
it had a Fable. I think you're the one that said that it had a Fable vibe to it. Everything looked amazing and polished. It looked like it was a full RPG type game. It might be
I think you
make
your own character. You can make your own character in it.
Yep, you do.
I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, that was one of my more favorite parts. Like if I can be a mage and it's me, pretty cool.
Yeah,
right.
But
there you go.
It looked. I haven't even showed Carrie that. I mean, maybe
this is
the time. Maybe this is the time to get her into it.
This is the game that gets her into.
I'll have to show her. What I'm not going to show her, however, is Resident Evil Village.
Oh, that looked amazing.
I'm playing that. I'm playing that. Oh yeah.
In fact, we were watching it, and all of a sudden, something jumped out from somewhere, and
Dave hid under his pillows.
Yep.
It was his cat.
It was my cat. That game did look amazing. Looks terrifying. I will never play it, but I will try to attempt to watch somebody play it.
You can just watch me play it. I'll play it for you, Dave.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, watch Chris play it.
Right.
You can watch me poop my pants, so you don't have to poop yours.
Exactly. So let's just
see Chris his pants with you.
Chris, you're gonna make it somewhere as a streamer. You get it.
Yeah.
You get
it.
Thank you. you suffer so that the people watching don't have to. That's why I played. I want to be the guy.
I say that at work. I
want to be the guy.
Dude, I'm sitting at my desk and I just I want to be the guy.
No, you don't.
In my head, I'm just like, okay, so
I want to be the guy. That fucking
Resident Evil does look absolutely terrifying. Something weird that they show. I don't know why, and we talked about it the other day, but I don't know why they're showing older games on something like that. It just seems weird.
Yeah.
The Devil May Cry thing. I mean, it's cool. It's sort of metal, I guess, but
yeah,
it doesn't. I don't think it has a place in that event.
That's something we talked about the other day. It's like, like Devil May Cry 5 is fucking incredible. Like, it is such a good game. And it's been a good game for the past 2 years since it came out. Like, and I'm glad that it's coming to the next gen consoles, but it did not need to take up time at a next gen event.
Same thing with Fortnite.
You know, like,
had no place
even,
in it.
Or even if you did have it, if you had in like a little sizzle reel at the end or something, then that's fine. You know, like one of those little like 50-second compilations that shows you like 80 games. You know, like one flash of each. Oh, this game, that game, this game, that game, Devil May Cry Definitive Edition, blah blah blah. Like, you know, it should have been something like that. It should have taken up like 2 minutes.
Take out that fucking game and put in Worms Armageddon. What the hell was that?
Worms.
What the fuck was it? At the very end, he's doing exactly what Eric just said. All these games, boom, boom, boom. You got the music, everything's cool. And all of a sudden, I'm looking and I'm like, was that? Was that?
To add in on the Worms
Did you guys see that
Armageddon thing? I briefly noticed that when you guys went back through and you were looking at the trailer and kind of rehashing that. I think the ending thing that they did, where we saw a bunch of games that weren't featured in any of the showcases they did, I think those are going to be upcoming titles they showcase in another state of play or something like that. But they're giving us kind of like a
it's a sizzle reel. It's a teaser.
Yeah, it's a sizzle.
That's fine. But yeah, which by the way, kudos, Dave. You have a sharp fucking eye, because even when you like
that either.
Even when I knew what spot it was coming up, and even when you slowed it down, I'm still like, wait, is that Worms?
You know what's funny about it?
Is that Worms?
You know what's funny
about it? But you were like,
it?
you watched it one time, you're like, I just saw Worms. That was Worms.
It was Worms. And the funny thing is, you have like the big rocket, the building, and everything. The worm was this fucking big. That was the first thing I saw. You know those Waldo things? I'm
right.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah. Or you go on Facebook and there's A's and one W. I'm just like, it's right there, you guys. What are you doing?
It's right there.
So,
stupid. What's up?
Yeah, I loved Worms. Worms was such a weird, fun party game, and it was hard in its own way. Literally a blast, and the weapons are the wonkiest things, and it's like Borderlands before Borderlands, right? I mean, all the weird weapons and shit.
Yeah, kind of.
Just the weapons, not anything else. It's just, you know, a huge banana launcher or whatever.
Yeah,
banana launcher.
Yeah, it really was.
The weapons were ridiculous.
Yeah. You could shoot.
It sounds like a joke, but that wasn't the game.
You could shoot cows, stuff like that. Normal things, you know.
Yeah.
So okay, so moving
cows, I swear.
Dude, cows. I lit them on fire in Craftopia and just watch them. Okay, Five Nights at Freddy. None of us really care about it.
Don't care.
If you like Five Nights at Freddy, go take a look at the trailer. I mean,
I like that game.
I was gonna say, actually, Chris, give us the intel on Five Nights at Freddy's. You're hip with the youth. We're too old for that game.
The youth.
To be fair, I didn't discover the game until like a few months ago, so I can't.
Oh shit! Did you at least play it?
Fair enough.
Because I don't think any of us have.
I played. Yeah, I played. I lied. I discovered it like a year and a half ago. I love Five Nights at Freddy's. I think it's cool. It's a nice strategic game. Don't get killed. Check your cameras. Make sure you stop them with doors. I like it. It's simple. It's scary, and it made me jump scared.
I thought that's why we had Outlast.
Okay.
Outlast was way more scary than Five Nights at Freddy's. Are you kidding me?
No, I didn't get into the building. I walked into the building, looked left, looked right with the flashlight, heard a creak. Nope, I'm out. But I wouldn't play like Five Nights at Freddy has a VR. I would never play that.
I definitely would.
Dave would probably be too scared to play Gone Home. Like that's Dave's level.
Have you seen the game Hello Neighbor?
Yes.
Dave wouldn't play that.
That's wrong. I played it. I played it. Oh, that neighbor. What was that game? That 4-player game that we played?
Dead by Daylight.
Huh? Dead by Daylight. No.
Dead by Daylight.
It was a fucking Blackout Club.
Blackout Club. That was. I thought that was almost terrifying until I got into it a little bit. I was like, oh shit! But every time I heard
that was a little.
Oh, you should check it out. It's
the first time those whatever the fucks came after you.
It's crazy, like the shadow thing.
I was drunk as shit when we streamed that. I barely remember.
I was pretty.
Did you at least like too. Five Nights at Freddy's?
Oh yeah, I like the game. Yeah, cool. Like I said, it's simple. Yeah. It's got a little spooky vibe to it. I like it.
Okay, nice. Awesome.
Cool to have a fresh perspective.
There's a Demon Souls remaster that looked really cool. I know it's a hard remake. Sorry, no, it says remaster. Remake. It's a remake. They're wrong.
It's a
You're
remake.
right.
It's a remake. Yeah.
Yeah. So that looked amazing. I
It
won't
looks incredible.
buy it because it's like a Dark Souls type thing, and I don't like being mad.
Yeah, no. I'm glad you learned your lesson from Sekiro.
I did.
Because
I did. I learned that I would rather just flush $60 down the toilet, or do a giveaway to a fan, than to purchase anything that resembles Dark Souls.
But no. I mean, Demon Souls. That's gonna be the first thing that I fucking buy whenever I do get PS5.
Everyone's saying that.
If I can manage to secure one on launch, that is going to be my launch game. I can even wait, and this is coming from the guy who has the Spider-Man Edition PS4 Pro. I could wait on Spider-Man Miles Morales before I could wait on Demon Souls. Like, Demon Souls is that when I get the PS5, that's the first fucking game I'm getting.
Yeah.
So you said Demon Souls is just another Dark Souls?
Well, it is.
Yeah,
it's like ish, Dark Souls ish.
Yeah, because Dark Souls actually spawned from Demon Souls.
Right.
Demon Souls was a PS3 game, a very niche, very obtuse, cumbersome PS3 game.
Yeah.
That then From Software wanted to make a sequel or whatever, but Atlas and Sony wouldn't publish it, so they basically made a spiritual successor that Bandai Namco published, which was Dark Souls,
which ended up being way bigger than Demon Souls ever thought of being.
Yeah.
So every time someone mentions a game like Dark Souls, we just call it a Dark Souls type game.
Yeah, exactly. So Dark Souls is the most well known of them, but
Yeah.
Dark Souls was a spiritual successor to Demon Souls.
So
So now they went back to the drawing board. Demon Souls is getting fully remade from the ground up, and it looks fucking incredible.
Yeah. So that was pretty much what was going on at the Sony conference. And there's really Sony conference, the event. There's only really one thing to say now, and this is very important. You guys need to listen up. What the fuck, Sony?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Wait, I have something to add to that.
What the fuck?
Seriously, Sony, what the fuck?
What the fuck? What happened?
What the fuck?
What happened? Who went wrong? Why did I stay up till 1:00 in the morning? Why? I want some answers. Someone needs to be fired. I want someone in jail. I want my 6 hours back. What the fuck? I had a terrible day at work today. Okay, not terrible, but I was tired. All right, I was a little grouchy. It's fine. Took a nap when I came home and almost slept through the podcast. What the fuck, Sony? Seriously.
So for anyone that's not in the know, which I feel like most people who are watching or listening to this do know what's going on, but essentially, after the event yesterday, Sony basically just kind of tweeted out oh yeah, pre-orders are going live as soon as tomorrow. So okay, tomorrow the 17th. They said the 17th, as early as the 17th. So, people kind of relaxed. All right, 17th, that's tomorrow. I don't need to pay attention tonight. What happens fucking not even an hour later? Pre-orders go live on Walmart. Next thing you know, pre-orders are live, and they were sold out immediately. Next thing you know, pre-orders are live at Best Buy. Boom, sold out immediately. Fucking,
dude,
and
holy fuck, dude. For real.
Yeah, and the most frustrating thing about it, not only, that in and of itself, in its own little bubble, that piece of information contained is infuriating.
If it makes you guys feel better, I snagged one.
Did you really?
Well,
no.
I was gonna say I'm happy for you, but fuck you. But, but if you didn't, then all right.
Yeah.
But no, what's extra infuriating about it is just not even 2 months ago, the head of Sony marketing,
July 17th, 2020.
July 17th.
We will not forget.
The head of Sony marketing, I forget his name off the top of my head,
Asshole
but
McGee.
Yeah, Asshole McGee was in an interview with Jeff Keighley because at the time there was a rumor. There was a rumor at the time that the PS4, PS5 pre-orders were going to drop that day, and people were already lining up at GameStops and stuff expecting that rumor to be true. Jeff Keighley asked him, "Is the rumor true? Are you guys about to push the button?" And he very specifically said, "No, we're not going to drop it on you guys like that."
Laughed about it. He fucking laughed about it.
Don't worry, nothing like that's going to happen. We're not just going to drop it on you. We're not going to surprise you with it. You're going to know well in advance. Yeah, you're going to know well in advance when pre-orders are going live for PlayStation 5, so there's no confusion. Then, already going from that to hearing the day prior Don't die, Chris. Don't die.
Dude, for real, dude. I gotta tell you. Here's what happened. Here's what fucking went down. All right, I gotta tell you my experience last night. It was terrible. It was blood and crying. I'm streaming. Okay, open it to me streaming, having a good time, blowing shit up in Borderlands 3 with my boys, and then all of a sudden I hear beep. I look over. My eyes got big. What the fuck? It's Eric ruining my stream by saying pre-orders are live. I see the little notification down on the corner. I immediately hate myself and everything. And I'm like, guys, what the fuck? I push my mic over and I'm like, I gotta blah blah. So I started going on. I had 5 sites. Okay, I had Walmart, Target, Amazon, Best Buy, GameStop on an automatic refresh every 5 seconds. Target's gone. Walmart's broken. Best Buy just fuck Best Buy. Everything was going haywire.
Yeah, fuck Best.
I'm yelling to Carrie while I'm streaming. Okay, mind you, the last, I don't know, very long time of the last part of that stream. I'm yelling to Carrie. Carrie is a fucking champ. She comes in here. She gets on the computer next to me, starts blasting through these websites. Everything's sold out. Everything. You can't even put anything like the regular consoles. You can't even put those in your cart. It wouldn't even work. Mm-hmm. But then if you got something in your cart, especially on Best Buy, it was a never-ending 2 hours of fucking hitting that goddamn button. Refresh.
Yeah, it was basically the demand. The traffic was so high, it was just like crashing the websites.
Crashing everything. So I looked down and I'm like, holy shit, I gotta get one of these. What am I gonna do? Carrie finally, well, I'm looking at these bundles and holy fuck, they're expensive. $700, $800. And I'm like, I don't care. Just do it. What can you do? I have been avoiding the Discord today because I didn't want to tell people I got 2 bundles.
Yeesh.
The only reason, not for me, only one of them's for me, the other one's going to be for somebody else, that I promised 9 months ago that if he didn't get through, I would get through.
What the heck happened to your webcam, Eric?
I accidentally bumped my USB cable. I'm fixing it right now. Hold on. Just keep
That's
talking.
fine. Okay. The story gets better, okay? So she gets through on one of them, okay? And then we get this fucking error. Okay, it took her forever to get through anyway, and we didn't even know that it was going to actually happen because every single time you go in and put a piece of information, you have to load the page. It just seems to crash and fucking burn. Finally, at the very end, it says, "Oh, your confirmation email is going to be late or delayed." No, I need it now. I need to know. What do I do? So I'm over here on a different site trying to get one. So I find one, finally get it in, both at GameStop, by the way. I'm not sure how that happened, but both at GameStop. So finally another one, and then we're like, shit, that's a lot of money. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna cancel one. But then my buddy Derail, I told him that I would make sure he got one because he did not know this all was happening. I texted him, I said, dude, this is fucking happening right now. And he goes, what the fuck? He was waiting for 3 o'clock in the morning for the 3080s to drop. Okay, the new RTX 3080s. And I'll tell you what, that was even worse because I think he said 80% of them were taken up by bots. So they're fucking gone. They're just gone. You're gonna find them on eBay for $7 million.
Probably from fucking Bitcoin seller bots.
So here's the funny part about the whole thing. Yeah. We put both of these pre-orders in. I'm like, that's a lot of money. I look down at my bank account and I'm like, I don't have that much money in my bank account.
Shit.
Carrie, get in the car. We're going to the bank. We had to go put some money in the bank because the transfer wasn't working. So we're sitting at fucking the bank at 11 o'clock at night trying to get the ATM to work. And the ATM wasn't working because I forgot to activate my card when I got a new one. So panic, mayhem, and a long fucking night of just stress. And then all day today, I felt so bad. I didn't want anyone to ask me. I was defeated. but I didn't want anybody to ask me if I got one in the Discord because I would have felt so terrible because everyone is so mad.
Right.
So anybody that didn't get one, I feel like Sony has kind of like, I think they are sorry that this happened. I really truly do. I don't think it's anything malicious because the vendors are the one that did it. Walmart's trying to come out of their little COVID slump, so they want a little bit of a boost. Great way to do it. Fantastic way to do it. But I think that they will try their best.
They broke their fucking website in the process.
They broke everything. Well, they broke back in PlayStation 4 when that was released too. But I think they will try to get pre-orders back up and rolling. So go to the websites, go everywhere. Nowinstock.com is a great one. I use that all the time for everything. You can do text notifications and emails for when things are in stock at all those stores in one place. So nowinstock.com. I'm not getting paid to tell you that.
Which I will say that earlier when I checked nowinstock.com and I went to sign up for the text alerts, it specifically said that due to the high demand that some people might not even get the text alerts because of the just the insane traffic they're getting.
Yep, but
they said that it did say that if you use like the Telegram that you will get the alerts no matter what, but the text alerts might not come through.
Thank you very much for saying that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a very good piece of information to have.
For sure. Yeah, definitely stay vigilant with it. Like, don't just assume that it's completely gone everywhere. As I mentioned earlier, I have that Spider-Man PS4 Pro. And actually, that wasn't as, quite as sought after of a product as the PS5 is, but it was still like to the point where when I found out about it and when I found out pre-orders were live, it was already sold out everywhere. And I was kind of bummed out because I was wanting to upgrade to a PS4 Pro at the time anyway, and that was the one where I'm like, that's the PS4 Pro I want to upgrade to, like that's the one. And it bummed me out that it was sold out. But then for the next few days, I just kept checking the websites, and then even if for short periods of time, due to just inaccuracies in the systems or whatever, or people canceling their pre-orders and stuff, pre-orders might pop back up for brief periods of time. And you never know when it's going to pop up. For me, it was Best Buy with that one. It was Best Buy. I checked it. I'm like, it probably won't be in stock. But oh shit, it's in stock, and I bought it right away. And then the next day, it was out of stock again.
Yeah. But Aaron just said that Walmart said there's more coming on the 22nd of this month. That's good. That's good. We have a time. That means check on the 21st. We've learned our lesson. Yeah. But you imagine people at Sony last night. You imagine. Dude, people, PR, like everyone.
They're probably just like,
So one thing I will say, I saw this take earlier on it, and this actually made a lot of sense to me. Because first of all, the fact that, the head of marketing said there'd be plenty of advance notice. And then not only did the pre-orders go live earlier than they said, but I mean, the notice that they gave wasn't even a full day. It was after the event.
It was 30 minutes.
Well, that wasn't even, like I said, they didn't actually give notice for that. Right. But I'm saying, like, by the time they sent out the tweet saying by the 17th pre-orders could be live, it was already the end of the day on the 16th, so it was like maybe like a 5-hour notice.
Yeah. And even that's bullshit.
Wasn't even that wasn't even a 5-hour notice. But that's what I'm saying. Like, even that isn't plenty notice. That's that's not even a day, even if it was accurate, which it wasn't. But what I saw a take earlier where they mentioned, Sony and Microsoft have seemed to have been like playing this game of chicken for the past few months, where neither one of them wanted to unveil their price first. So I don't think that the head of Sony marketing was trying to blatantly like mislead us. I think what happened was, like, they were expecting Microsoft to show their hand earlier than they did. Like, they were steadfast in, we're going to show our price after Microsoft. Like, we want to react to them. But Microsoft took longer than they expected. So I think what happened was they were expecting to, like, this event, because notice they pushed the event out really quickly after Microsoft unveiled their thing. Yeah. It was like within the week, they're like, oh, by the way, here's our event. Watch it. So I feel like they were planning to show this event maybe like a month ago. And maybe pre-orders are supposed to go live like maybe 2 weeks after that or something, something like that. Like, I feel like there was a contingency in place there, but then Microsoft kept waiting and it pushed back their deadlines or whatever. And they pushed it back so far to where they didn't know how they were going to react at that point. You know, where they're like, all right, at this point, just put out the event as soon as you can. Thursday, whatever, or Wednesday, we'll have the event.
Because the event was actually rumored to happen earlier than it did.
Yeah,
but
and that's what I'm saying. It probably was originally planned to come out earlier, and pre-orders probably were supposed to start a couple of weeks ago.
Now,
which would have been noticed from when the event would have been, but that fucked everything up from them waiting so long.
This basically tells me oh, she brought me buffalo wings. Fuck yeah. This basically tells me one very specific thing. I really got to figure out Twitter, because evidently information flies way faster on Twitter than anywhere else on the planet.
So I have heard.
Yeah,
I've heard too.
There's only one thing faster than bullets. Twitter.
I think I'm the only one of us that's kind of like become acclimated to Twitter at this point. And it's very rapid fire. Like, information flows through that site so fucking fast.
Yep.
And it really is a good way to stay afloat.
It's like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I've noticed it. I don't like it.
It is a very good way to keep afloat.
It. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a Twitter guy. It's not for me.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why we pay people to do it. We don't. We really don't. Eric does the best he can. That's right. But this, we're gonna keep an eye on the news in the next few days. But I'm telling you what, someone has to come up with some better answers. Besides whoops. I do like the fact that Xbox kind of did a little bit of a jab at Sony, which was really, really funny. What
was it?
I'm going to tell you right now. They tweeted, pre-order September 22nd, worldwide launch in 36 countries, November 10th, hype 9,000 plus. And then it says, don't worry, we'll let you know the exact time pre-order start for you soon.
Yeah, so
the exact
a very direct jab. Granted, sorry to burst Microsoft's bubble, but I don't think anybody's too worried about Xboxes selling out. Just saying.
Wow, fanboy.
I'm not even.
It's true.
I was gonna say, I'm not even saying that as a fan. I mean, I am a fanboy. I'm not. I have no delusions.
It's okay.
But this is one of my 2 PlayStation hats. But the thing is just exclusives and just the. I mean, there isn't a lot of reason to own the next gen Xbox at launch, aside from if you're a hardcore Xbox fanboy and you just absolutely want that name under your TV. You want that box so fucking bad. And, more power to you if that's the camp that you fall in.
I want it for the shape.
I mean, it looks cool. I'm going to get a Series X eventually. Yeah, I'm going to get a Series X eventually. The thing's badass. Yeah, but it's just... At launch, it has no noteworthy exclusives, no push, nothing that makes me go, I have to have that before like 2 years from now. Like, if it came down to
Black Friday next year,
like right now, if it came down to I can't get a PlayStation 5 until next year, my immediate reaction wouldn't be I'm spending that money on an Xbox instead. My reaction would be I'm just going to hold on to my money until I can get that PS5. Right. Like that's the point I'm at. I'm going to get the Series X eventually, probably not for at least a year or 2. That's me personally.
You know what my brother's argument is? He's an Xbox guy and I'm a PlayStation guy. When I tell him that PlayStation's better, you know what the only thing he says? No, it's not. Okay, let's argue about it. Let's talk about it. Let's go with details and this stuff. No, it's not.
See, for me, I never really cared about the war. That little war there, it just never bothered me because my wife likes Xbox.
It is a fucking war,
dude. PS4.
I just don't care.
It's just for I prefer PS4, but I'm not gonna poop on the Xbox. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, that's
you. It's very hard to poop on the Xbox for a couple different reasons. It's not shaped as a toilet. But also that's where the fan is on the top.
Because mine is.
Mine is a toilet. Also, xCloud. xCloud is going to be built into the Ultimate Edition of Game Pass, $14.99, and you can go on your damn phone at work on the toilet. Doesn't matter where. Turns into bathroom Yahtzee immediately, and you can play all your damn games right here. if you got the new style Xbox controller, these white ones like this with the Bluetooth built into it, not the old one because they're a little weird.
I'm gonna start bringing one to work so that when I'm
That's
shitting,
the thing.
I'm playing.
And then you have
Xbox.
phones. Then you have phones like the new Note 20 that just can play games in like near 4K type experiences, which is weird because it's so
ridiculous.
tiny. Beautiful, crispy pictures. All right.
Yeah.
What is the reason for an Xbox? Why? I pay for the Ultimate. I play it on my computer. I can play it on my phone.
Yeah.
I can play it everywhere.
Exactly.
What is the point of a console now?
That's
it just
the thing.
seems weird.
I have my gaming laptop right here.
Right.
Like it's and that's the thing. All of the exclusives that are coming to Xbox that they've shown so far, pretty much all of them are coming to PC. Pretty much all of them are going to be playable on a Game Pass Ultimate on PC.
Which is what we all have.
Right.
Yeah, and the one and only game that would have pushed me to buy a Series at I probably would have even settled for a Series S initially just to get it sooner is Halo Infinite, which of course Halo Infinite got delayed. And second of all, it's coming to PC also, so I don't even need to buy an Xbox to play it. So it's
look at this. Look at this. It just works. Everything in this just works.
That's awesome.
It's starting grounded.
I saw Kelly in the reflection.
Yeah, you see. Look at that. Right there.
Look at that sexy
flying. It's flying into his head.
Plays enough. I can't handle two.
But seriously, everything is there.
Yeah.
Give me a reason. Tell me what is the reason? You know what I mean? I want to play in 120 hertz. That's fine. Okay, there's your reason.
Even if I was a hardcore Xbox fanboy,
which he's not.
Which I'm not. Like I would find it hard to like justify buying a Series X at launch. I really would. Especially like I said, I mean, granted, and even harder for the Series S because like
it sounded like you said Series ass.
Series ass.
Sign me up.
But joke.
Because of the fact that, like I said, I mean, the Series S does have a great value for some people.
Right.
It is kind of like limited in who it's appealing to, and one of the big draws I can say about the Series X is that the 4K enhancements to backwards compatibility, stuff like that, like playing Red Dead Redemption 1 in 4K, native 4K. That's awesome. But the One X could already do that. So it's like I understand if someone has a launch Xbox One and they're thinking about maybe springing for a One X, but at this point it's like, oh, may as well just go for the Series X at this point since I've already waited this long. If you already have a One X, there's fucking almost no reason to spring for a Series X yet. And even like if backwards compatibility is a thing that you're looking for, and especially if you're interested in those enhancements, the Series S is off the table because the Series S, while it does support backwards compatibility, it doesn't support those enhancements.
It only supports HDR at highest.
Yeah, and I mean that's HDR is great. I love HDR, but it's not a system selling feature.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
but
that's not enough to warrant.
Even like one of the things that kind of irritates me, and it just, I think it was unnecessary, but maybe it's just flexing. The PlayStation 8K. Yeah, because the normal person that's going to be buying this can afford the cheapest one, which may or may not be on Walmart for $2,447.
Well, both Microsoft and Sony have been flexing that 8K thing, and that's I mean,
stop.
Yeah, like we all know you're full of shit.
We all know that serious stop.
Yeah,
5 years from now, sure, maybe.
Yeah, we all know that. First of all,
no one can afford that technology now.
First of all, no one has an 8K TV or monitor. Second of all,
if you tell us in chat that you do, god damn it. Go ahead.
And second of all, even for those of us that do, anyone who owns an 8K monitor is smart enough to know that those systems aren't going to be rendering a native 8K. Like it might like upscale video to 8K or some shit like that. Those machines are barely going to be rendering in 4K. Like they're not. They won't have a single fucking hope of rendering anything in 8K unless it's like 10 frames per second.
If you wanted a 4K TV, 55 inch right now, super cheap, Walmart TCL brand probably. It's not going to be an OLED display, but it's going to give you way more than just a basic 1080 does and for $199 or $229, some crazy shit like that. I was looking into it the other day for my sim setup over here. Incredibly cheap stuff. 8K, maybe put 8K possibility on it, but you shouldn't flex that number because it's so incredibly ridiculous right now. It's incredibly ridiculous to put that on there.
It's buzzwords. It's them trying to like
right. That's what irritated
hype.
me. I was looking at it. I'm like, what the fuck? Why?
But it comes across as patronizing. It comes across as like them thinking that we'll just eat up any fucking words that come out of their mouth.
Yeah.
That's like if they were touting the Xbox One S. It's like if they were to tout this One S as a 4K gaming machine because it had 4K streaming capabilities. Like the One S did not support 4K gaming in any capacity, but it did support 4K video. So like, you know, it could play like Netflix in 4K. Or I think it had a 4K drive, so it could play like 4K Blu-rays or whatever. I almost said DVDs.
So,
good God. But
being a nerd, have you guys heard? And this is not completely game related, but it actually it ends up being game related.
Adjacent.
Listen to this. Has anybody heard of Samsung The Wall?
Sounds familiar.
Listen to this. This is absolutely fucking crazy. Okay, Samsung has created this TV. Okay, it wraps. It looks like a canvas. It wraps around like the video and everything wraps around it. Okay, this thing can be put in any sort of different variation of you know, you can have it offset, the middle can be up, you know, have it look like a picture kind of thing. This thing is huge, and they actually can be as big as they need to be because they're custom made. Absolutely brilliant. These things, I believe they're 8K and more, depending on what you get. It's basically just like a QLED, like a premium QLED TV.
That's ridiculous.
Right. I would absolutely love to watch, and I'm gonna post a link so you guys can see this because it blows my mind. I would love to see any game system on this, you know, definitely the new stuff, because you know, you ever seen the videos where you walk into places like over in Japan and stuff, and there's just a TV like down this whole entire walkway, something like that. It's just picture that, but having it be solid panel TVs, but the brightest, most vivid colors possible. I saw it actually come up on my Facebook today, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Is that real? Sure enough, Samsung The Wall. And I can't even imagine playing something.
It's a good name.
And it's very cool.
That is a cool name.
They're doing their whole folding screen type things, which I think is really cool. But it does. It wraps around the side like a canvas painting would.
That's nuts.
And it's got its own custom, you know, things that it hangs on. I can't imagine the processing power on this stuff. But anyway.
Yeah, that's a really catchy name. The Wall.
The Wall.
Like,
yeah.
Damn.
Right.
Yeah, if it worked for Pink Floyd, it can work for Samsung.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah,
but it's crazy. I would love to play on one of those. Couldn't afford it. This is for like, you know, lawyers' offices and stuff. It's probably what it's
Bob
for.
Marley.
Bob Marley.
Yeah, right.
All those other crazy people. But either way, we don't know what the fuck happened with Sony. We are going to keep an eye on the Twitters and the Facebooks and try to figure out, maybe there's an answer. We'll talk about it probably in the Discord. We'll post a little something on Facebook. We are constantly talking in the Discord, which reminds me.
And by next podcast, wait, I just realized.
What?
Next podcast, I'm going to be sitting with you boys in the next podcast.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I'm going to be up in Maine for the next one.
Oh.
Yeah,
I know what's going to happen.
We can actually, I can actually fondle Dave.
Yeah,
on camera.
He's going to.
I'm not missing that podcast. Tell you that right now.
You better not.
I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna be right there. Pink Floyd's Samsung's The Wall. Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, we hope that somebody you know, has some answers. Do we need the answers?
No,
maybe.
I mean,
it's just over. Maybe they're gonna fix
really
things in the future. But
it's not really
I feel
that
like
I need the answers. I just need
give us an explanation.
More so
What the
like
fuck
an
happened?
oops, like
Yeah, I feel like right now, like
If I get
Sony
a-
fans just kind of have a bad taste in our mouths right now. Like,
If I get a oops,
I mean,
and that's it, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
I mean, I'll be entirely
Whoopsie
honest.
daisy.
Like, I'm in kind of a situation where I can't afford to outright buy it right now. So that's why I wasn't up all night with it, because I'm like, I can't drop the full $500 on it right now.
I
So
set
whatever.
an alarm for 11:50. Come to find out, they were sold out by the time that I even got up, which was 10 minutes before they were even supposed to sell on
irritating,
Amazon.
dude. It
So,
really
so I've been
was.
keeping my eye on Amazon because, you know, I'm like, Amazon doesn't charge you until it ships. So, you know,
That's
if I could
why
have
I
nabbed the
did
pre-order
Amazon, but they were sold out 15 minutes before they were even supposed to go live. So,
or then
I
the
was
annoying
so
thing
out of
for
the
me.
loop. I didn't even know that they went up for pre-order until I talked to Kelly and Shane in the Discord at like 3:00 today. I was like,
oh yeah, it is way too late by then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I was like, you were years late.
You missed the
I had
bus,
no
man.
idea.
You missed the bus.
Yeah. But what really bothered me was my only other option, my only other out was Target, because I have a Target credit card that I completely forgot about, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I have that Target credit card. I mean, granted, yeah, I don't need to be racking up more debt right now, but at the same time, I could get the PS5 along with some accessories and a couple games right off the bat with that. I could. And you know, I work at 4 a.m. most days, so, you know, I wake up at 2:30 a.m., getting my coffee and stuff, and I'm like, let me check Target just for kicks. And I checked Target. The digital one was sold out, which I don't want the digital anyway. I want the disc drive. But then the disc drive one, it said it was in stock. It had the pre-order button. Like the other one, the pre-order button was grayed out, said sold out. That one, pre-order button, pushable. I pushed the pre-order button. It looks like it's processing for a second. Then it's like, sorry, an error occurred. I'm like, fuck you, Target. Fuck you. So like for the next hour and a half, I just like every couple minutes, I kept trying the button again. Is it going to work now? An error occurred. Nope, guess not.
When he's not pushing it, he's writing his memoirs. Why couldn't I have this today?
Pretty much. And then finally, eventually, it grayed out the button and said sold out. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Shut up.
Life.
Shut up, Target.
Yeah, they Target. I think generally, Target I think has better servers anyway, which is kind of weird than like Best Buy or something like that. I always remember there being better luck on Target for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, I didn't have very good luck with it this morning.
Because most people go to like the big stores like Best Buy.
Well, people want Amazon because you don't have to
first.
put the money up front.
Yeah.
GameStop's the same way. Best Buy, I think, will take it immediately.
Best Buy does take it immediately. That's why if you have the money, from my experience, Best Buy is usually one of the like easier ones to get a pre-order at.
Right.
Usually.
Yep. That's actually where I got my pre-order for the Ghost of Tsushima Collector's Edition, because that was the only place that I could do it. And
I need to play
had
that.
money, so I just did it.
I really need that to play there, and like I said, my Spider-Man
Dude,
PS4 was Best Buy.
Yeah.
I'm
working on a Plague's Tale right now, though. So.
Oh, nice.
That's a cool game. That's a cool
I
game.
still
Really
gotta get
awesome
around to
game.
finishing
That's on.
that too.
If anybody wants to check out Plague's Tale, go to Christiege11 on Facebook. I'm gonna actually post a link here in just a few minutes. And also, it's on Game Pass, so that's really cool. So it's it's one of those things.
Oh,
yeah. Go ahead.
By the way, one thing I wanted to point out real quick, just real super fast. Of course, I've mentioned a billion times on these podcasts by now that I've been involved with like the music collaboration and stuff for Beyond Good and Evil 2 on Hit Record. In fact, I'm wearing a Beyond Good and Evil shirt. This is actually specifically from a content creator, Denise Takes, who does Beyond Good and Evil 2 update videos and stuff. She's an awesome content creator, so check her stuff out. But either way, tomorrow on the Hit Record Facebook page, they are going to be doing a listening party at 7 p.m. Eastern, or 4. They go by Pacific time, so 4 p.m. their time. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're going to be doing a listening party where I'm going to be hearing the final versions of these tracks for the first time. Even the songs that I conceptualized, I haven't heard the final mixes of these tracks yet, and they're going to be playing them tomorrow live on the Facebook Hit Record page.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
I will be there, and I will be drunk.
Hell yeah, dude! fucking yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be in the chat, geeking the hell out with all the other hit recorders that are gonna be in the chat.
We'll be watching it from Tony's house.
All right, yeah, and I'll, of course, I'll be pointing out which songs I was involved in and stuff. That's the thing. Some of the tracks I don't even know, like, because the way the collaboration works on there.
Yeah.
Until like the final versions are finalized, sometimes you don't know if your contributions even made it into certain tracks or not. Depending on the size of the contribution. Like there's some, a couple of the tracks were actually my concepts, so I know for a fact those are in there. If you are going to be watching, the songs "Will Fight" and "We Are Hybrids" both were my original songs,
and can we
and ended up having like 20 to 30 people involved in the process of making the overall song.
Are you allowed to say that you got the praise? Sandwiches.
That's
the sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, the sandwiches.
But I do like sandwiches.
Dude, I love sandwiches.
But no, like I was saying, tune in tomorrow. Hit record Facebook page, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out the tracks. I'll be in there, geeking the fuck out.
Nice.
Finding out, like I said, there's some songs where like I contributed a vocal part or a guitar solo or something like that, where I don't even know if my part's gonna end up in there. I'm excited to hear the songs either way.
Yeah,
and I think they're gonna have some of the voice acting bits too. There were radio call-ins, which a couple of my submissions were used for that too. So,
dude, that's awesome. That really is cool.
I'm so fucking like jazzed about it.
That's like you're closer to famous than the rest of us.
just don't worry. I'm gonna absolutely leverage any like recognition that I get from there is going to be leveraging Winter House.
Well, it's funny when we're in our Winter House Gaming private chat that we have. I was talking about something specific. I was like, hey, look at this and check this out. And then he comes in with that. I'm like, well, fuck me then. I guess we'll see you later. I was like, oh fuck. You're
sorry. I didn't mean to.
You don't need us anymore. You don't need Winter House. You're gonna do just fine.
But yeah,
that was awesome.
Anyway, so check that out. Hit record.
Dude, can't wait. We are going to listen to it. All right, Christiege11. His name is Chris. He's super awesome. Christiege11. I'll say it one more time. I'm going to put the link in the description and the chat right now. Guys, go check him out. He's a really cool guy. He spends a lot of time with us in the Winter House Gaming Discord, which is also in the description. He is always looking for ways to better his streams, better everything, because he's always looking for information, and that's really cool. Really fun guy. Come in, say hi to him. Tell him Winter House Gaming sent you, and it's gonna be pretty fucking awesome. We got anything with closing besides that?
Anything with clothing?
Clothing?
No, I prefer to not be with clothing.
All right.
Do we get naked? Do we get naked? All right. Thank you very much, guys. Once again, Christiege11, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate that. Look at this beautiful smile.
Of course, man. Not a problem. It was my pleasure. I had a good time.
Absolutely. We'll have you on.
Yeah, look at that full head of hair, that little son of a
That's all right. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you very much. Fuck you, Sony.